All right, Coach, coming off what you guys did against Alabama this past weekend, it's 4 in a row in the spring now. So what's the message to the team to keep this thing rolling?
It was great being home, but I think now it's routine and consistency. That's the message to them. Getting back in our routine, being more consistent with our skills and just the way we're competing. But the energy is good. We're hitting the road tomorrow, so road warrior mentality.
Georgia, what's the scouting report on the Bulldogs?
They have some key players that we're gonna have to focus on. One of their best players has been out the past couple of weeks, but they were just off 2 weeks. So she might be back, she might not. But it's really going to come down to our first contact, serve and pass for us, and making sure we're serving tough to get them out of system. But it's going to be about taking care of the ball on our side.
Sierra had 8 service aces on Friday, and then Claire, I don't know what the final number was, but Claire Jeter, is throwing dimes back there from the service line. So is that something you guys worked on between the fall and the spring, was, making serves as offensively position? I don't know how to say it, but like turning those into points. Was that something y'all focused on?
Serving as a weapon. That's what we want. We have to serve tough to get teams out of system. So we focus on the serving. We serve and practice in between drills a lot, and we do serve and pass battles. We call them pressure serves. So we do focus on it because it's part of what we need to do in order to be that grinding team to earn points defensively. But when we're serving tough like that, it makes it tough on the opponent.
So I remember Holland had like the fireball. Well, I know firsthand she had the fireball serve, and then Sierra kind of has the floater, and Taylor comes in and she. What's the difference in different kinds of serves, and what makes each one kind of tough to defend?
So Holland's serve, she has a heavy hand. Like her actual hand contact made her serve. It was like a hybrid top float. You know what I mean? Like Cece's is a deep float. So it's a heavy ball based on how she's floating it, and she's serving deeper. Like she stands further back. Claire is more similar to a Holland. She has a heavy hand. Like she's a good offensive player because she has a good arm. Same with her serve. And Tay, it's a jump float, but it's because it's the flatness of it. She can drive it flat. So all three of those serves are very different. Tay's is more of the speed that it gets on people. But yeah, I mean, that is also beneficial because it's tough to prepare for different serves. Just like anything, it's tough to prepare to defend different types of attackers. That's why the balanced offense works. So yeah, it's the same as serving.
That girl in Alabama, number 6, Gabajema or whatever her name was, she had a heavy-handed serve, if I'm saying that correctly.
Hers was a true topspin.
Yeah.
So hers was a true topspin, and it wasn't as like heavy. She has a good arm, but like when she got tired, you could tell at the end of those matches, like she could barely jump.
Yeah.
So
I have two more real questions. And now, so more like Morgan Christian, we didn't see her in the spring, and now she's, one of your leading scorers. Claire Jeter, London, like these players are coming on that we didn't really see in the fall. Mm-hmm. Is that because they had that extra 2 months of practice to get ready and then just may not have been ready in the fall?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. It's just the training, the competitive chemistry that we talked about coming into the end of the fall, and then what we focused on in the spring, learning how to compete together and feed off each other. And some of it's just the consistency. London has always been right there, hard worker. We knew she was an offensive middle. It was her blocking that needed to get better. And now she's been able to focus on that. And Claire, also young, had to adapt to being here, being in college, playing at this speed. Even if you play at a high level in club, the speed of the college game is still something you have to adjust to. So I think all of those little things for each individual player, it was just different. It's like learning the system, learning how we're going to train, and then they kind of settle in and they figure out how to do that together.
And then lastly, I know you guys still have, I think, either 6 or 8 games this spring before tournament time.
Yep.
So do you feel like you guys are starting to put together the pieces and starting to play the caliber of volleyball you guys need to play for the SC tournament and the NCAA tournament?
For sure. I think it was a buildup. We were competing and playing very well at the beginning of the spring, and then February was kind of rough for us, a rough patch. And now, like I said, getting back into a routine and consistency, like that is, we need to keep focusing on that, because from this point on, it's like the ramp up is the opponents also. Like we're going to play back-to-back solid SEC teams on the road and then back at home. So it's a perfect build up to end this spring semester.